I love when I have to tab out of my game in order to deal with OBS because my PC is just special. However, that doesn't matter. Hello everyone, and welcome. This is WOR Season 12, Round 13, and we are in the land of the baguette, French people. It's the French Grand Prix, and we are now in Tier 4. My name is Rikes, and I will actually be taking you through the Tier 4 actually for the first time in WOR. So any new viewers, welcome from me, and I hope that you will be enjoying the show here tonight. First disclaimers right out of the way. First of all, we will be having a bit of a lobby restart. Once qualifying is over, due to the tire wear glitches and bugs or whatnot that we have kinda had in this game, made by Codemasters. Brilliant game, I have to say. But yeah, that does unfortunately mean that we will have to restart the lobby after qualifying. Another disclaimer out of the way, as it was in tier 6 from me as well. My PC is not having the best of days lately, so if there might be instances where my game just crashes. If that happens, I will try to rejoin the lobby as soon and as quickly as possible. Good luck, and good luck to you as well, Renzo. Speaking of Renzo, in the Drivers' Championship, obviously we have 3 races remaining, that is including France. The gap between the top of the Drivers' Championship, Renzo leading it, and Bogorov in P2. The gap is 32 points, meaning that technically Renzo in the Mercedes will have a chance to wrap up his Drivers' Championship here today, actually, when he outscores Bogorov by 18 points. However, Renzo in the chat claimed that it is rather impossible, probably, to outscore Bogorov by 18 points here in France, as they are both really quick drivers and not up the game, at least here in WR Tier 4. We are on board 12X. I have no idea if that's how I'm meant to pronounce your name, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Kind of wide in turn 1, actually, and even wider exit of turn 2. I have no idea how this lap is still valid, but we move on. As it has become a bit of a speciality for me, I guess. I shall be sticking on board whoever goes out first onto the hot laps, and then we go from there. It's been a bit of a scruffy lap, I should say, from 12X. Obviously, I haven't done practice myself in France yet. I only just had the the Jeddah League race in WR on Friday, and I have not practiced France whatsoever yet. So the Tier 4 guys, I have no idea what lap times I should be expecting. So the first guys who are setting the lap times, am I seeing rain? I don't think I am. But yeah, the first guys setting the lap times will, I will basically be saying it's been a good lap. I swear down I'm seeing rain. Or is my game just tripping? If there are any Tier 4 drivers here in chat, do let me know what the weather is meant to look like. Tiger has retired from the session. I would assume he has got a qualifying ban. I'm such a professional commentator, I have not actually checked the possible penalties and any such things. However, 12X in the Haas, about to finish his first lap. It's a 29.8. and a decent opener, I would say, for the Haas driver. Rish Rathi opens DRS. I think this is a bit of a slower lap by the Ferrari. Over the line in a few seconds' time. It's a 30.3 and gets overtaken actually by one of the 2 championship contenders, Bogorov, on a lap now. No, there is, you think, too. I'm guessing that's about the rain. I swear I'm seeing rain on my screen, but Ross in the Haas has not crossed the line yet, or hasn't even exited the pits yet, so I don't know. Maybe there is rain, maybe it's gonna dry up, or maybe we're just seeing things. We have had Night Sui setting a lap time, and both Alpha Tauris setting a lap time, and interestingly enough, both Alpha Tauris have elected to do their first laps on mediums. And that's actually something that I wanted to talk about as well. Strategy here in France is going to be an interesting one, because the tire wear, it is rather high from my personal experiences on this game, and 2 stops might be on the cards for some drivers. We might also have some people in the top 10 trying to qualify on the mediums, and especially those who miss out on the top 10, you know, P11 to P14 in today's case, as Bogorov, it hasn't been the best of lap times. He went a bit off track in the long right hand at the exit and had to lift off even to avoid invalidation. But yeah, people who miss out on the top 10 will probably definitely think to start on the mediums and go on from there. Bogorov, it's been a bit of a scruffy lap, as you might have seen throughout his lap as well, over the line, and P3 for the Williams driver. It's a 30.1. What is his championship rival doing out on track? He's on his first hot lap as well in Sector 1. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I don't remember what Bogorov did, but apparently Renzo went purple in Sector 1. I know that purple sectors on this game tend to mean that you're going quicker than you previously did, which obviously it is Renzo's first flying lap time, meaning that, you know, he will set a personal best in this session so far. I swear down it's raining. Like, there are raindrops, and my game is on like either high or medium graphics. I don't exactly remember which one, but I should be seeing rain instantly, near enough. So I do think it's raining, but obviously it isn't raining enough for people to consider inters, and you know, some people are even on mediums, thinking that maybe they can either just qualify mediums or just do more laps as the session draws towards the end. Renzo, it's been an alright lap, I guess, towards the final few corners of his first lap. In the final corner he is now third in the entry and upshifts as he goes on towards the final, towards the start-finish line, and actually lifts and backs off on his lap time. 31.9 puts him ahead of Klinsmann, but yeah, it's actually really interesting. I don't exactly know why did Renzo want to lift off there. Perhaps he wants to qualify on the mediums, and especially that's confusing me because we can all see the raindrops, and he backed off as Bogorov is doing things. What are you doing? What are you doing? Explain yourself. I have no idea who I was spectating before, but I guess they've done a lap. But yeah, Bogorov kinda caught my attention there by doing some weird things. Ross got it slightly wrong in the second corner, but I would say he has finished his hot lap already. P10 with a 32 point, well, we can call it a 6. It's a 5.99, like, I think we can run it down to a 6. What is SAR69 doing in the Aston Martin? On the mediums, actually. Hasn't invalidated his lap time so far. I can see he's sliding a little bit, and the rain is starting to intensify just a little bit more, so yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. So SAR69 over the line he goes, up to P11 with a 33.3. The times have definitely gone a little bit slower, but maybe the weather is just gonna get better as the session goes on. We even have not Frankie out on track again on mediums, and I swear he set his first lap time on mediums as well. It is raining, although the sky, you can still see the sun peeking out from the clouds as well. So yeah, really interesting one. Hold on, let me check one thing. Tire. Yeah, it shows what tire they have put on as well, not what's the best time they've done, or like what tire they've set the best times on. So no one has decided to go onto wet weather tires just yet. So yeah, really confusing one. Do keep in mind we will be restarting the lobby of the qualifying, so essentially it doesn't really matter how many laps do the drivers do on their tires, because they won't be starting on those worn tires. Obviously, the top 10, once you set a time, you have to start on that particular compound, but because it is a lobby restart, they can't start on the set of used tires. Interesting, Bogorov has put on a set of intermediates. I did not see that coming, to be honest. But we still have a couple drivers out on track on dry-weather tires, and the rain, like, I can see it on my screen, but like, it's not getting worse. Like, it started raining, like in the beginning of qualifying, then it got a bit more intense, and Like, it stayed consistent, like, it's not gotten any worse, it's not got any better, I would not say. Yeah, really a interesting situation that we have in here. If I'm being completely honest, as 12x, the provisional polls as it stands right now, I can't exactly tell how much time there is left in the session because there's a lovely thing on the screen saying that there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Now, 7 minutes 35 seconds, so there is still time for the weather to get better. 12x going for a hot lap, but you can see instantly that he's sliding all over the place. And he's backed off instantly. Bogorov, he put Inters on for a split second, however, he's back out on softs. I don't exactly know what is going on. Frankie is also out of mediums, not improving. Is Policeman improving? No, I don't think he is actually. We will see in a few seconds time, but yeah, I was still like 49 or 50 second Sector 2 splits before, and now you can see the weather, it has gotten worse. And that's still, like, I'm wondering, why did Renzo back off from his lap? He's going out again on a set of mediums, so I guess that would explain why he backed off on his soft tile lap. But the conditions are definitely worse right now than they were a few minutes ago, so I don't understand. The whole session, it's been just confusing for me, and I guess we'll see what's gonna happen in the next 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Another thing that I should probably mention, if you can hear that my voice is kinda weird, like sluggish or whatnot, the hay fever season is on, and is going on here in my country anyway, and I'm allergic to basically anything to do with plants and anything that lives. So my nose is blocked quite heavily, so if my voice sounds a little bit sluggish, you'll know why. Interesting, we have drivers retiring from the session now. Policeman has retired, N7 has retired, SAR69 has retired, obviously Tiger, I believe, had a quali ban, maybe not, I don't know, and Vigo Vakuri has also retired. I'm probably butchering loads of these names, and I do apologize if I have mixed or messed up some of them. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left of this session, and the only driver out on track right now is actually our championship leader, Renzo. So we will be giving him some screen time as well. In P9 right now, so he will have to overtake a couple of cars later on in the race if he wants to get anywhere near winning the championship here today. As Renzo said before in the Discord chat, as Black Panther as well has retired from the session, he doesn't believe he's going to win the championship here today, but obviously there's 2 races to go after this one, and the gap is 32 points. So I guess, you know, he can take it a race at a time. Interestingly enough, I'm seeing in the Discord chat now that everyone is saying, shouldn't we all retire? Not possible to beat up time with the rains, so that did prove my suspicion that it is definitely raining, and you can see the track is getting wetter and wetter. You can actually see the wet track surface. That doesn't really stop Renzo or Bogorov for that matter, who are still out on the track. Bogorov on Inters, and Renzo trying to improve on the mediums, 2 seconds off, and he also validated, so I don't think he's going anywhere. I believe our championship leader will be starting from P9 on the grid at the very best, although I don't think anyone behind him is going to improve. And now I think he's just decided to do some donuts for the crowd. We have the 2 championship contenders actually really close to each other out on the track. I don't think that is by... I don't think they organized that or anything. I think they're just both trying to see how it is out there on track. And I don't know what the weather is going to look like in the race, so maybe they're trying to get some damp weather running practice basically, but maybe it's just going to be a dry race and these guys are just 2 clowns trying to put on a show for the crowd, as said previously. But yeah, it's really been a confusing session, if I'm completely honest with you. Like, it started raining all of a sudden. Renzo decided to back off from his lap time. He will be starting on the set of softs. It will be a brand new set of softs. We will have a bunch of drivers in the top 10 who did set the lap times on the mediums, the two Alpha Tauris, and let me actually have a look. Who else? Actually, yeah, the two Alpha Tauris, N7 and Ross Vincent in the top 10, who will be starting on the medium tires. It is raining, yeah, yeah, it's definitely raining, yeah, but like I'm not blind, I can see it raining. But I do wonder what it's gonna look like in the race. If it's gonna be dry, because if it is a wet race as well, then maybe they will just try to get some wet running in. But maybe if yeah, we'll see. Bugger off! What you doing? What are you doing, Honintas? Getting some practice in. Into the middle sector chicane he goes, locks up all the way in. Nice rotation, I have to say, even considering the lock up. Decent exit by all Mata as well. And he's 5.6 seconds off his personal best time. Not gonna lie, I don't think it's gonna improve. Just, I have a suspicion he's not gonna improve on this lap time. 1 minute and 43 seconds left on the clock. Is Bogorov actually gonna stay out the whole time? Renzo is going out again on a set of mediums. What are these guys doing? And he's spun immediately. Are you just gonna do some donuts? There's a Emirates banner just blocking the way. Okay, cool. Right, what you got planned for us? Show us the donuts that you will do once you've won the championship. Oh wait, you can't do donuts because the game will just take the control away from your car once you cross the line. Come on. Show us some skills. Drift. Spin. Whatever. Do something. It's like you poke a corpse or something with a stick. Just saying, do something. Come on, Renzo, do something. I'm not saying that you're a corpse, you're leading the championship, you're 32 points quite a way ahead in the championship, but come on, do something. Show us some skill, drift, spin, or go quicker. Any of them, I would find a really decent achievement, to be honest. 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's still the two championship contenders out on track. Knightsui and Rishrati have not retired, but they don't exactly have the time to get out of the pits as well. 20 seconds left out on the clock. It is definitely going to end like this, the session. 10 seconds. Neither of these guys is going to make it to the line. There we go. Renzo has had a bit of a spin with a few seconds left on the clock. 2, 1, and it is checker flag. In this session, Bogorov and Renzo. Interesting. Renzo shows a checker flag as if the AI has taken over, but Bogorov does not. Is Bogorov in a different universe to us? Nice quality to commentate. I also have the Discord chat open, so I'm responding to that as well. Indeed, a really nice qualifying to commentate, but it's just been confusing. And what baffled me the most was Renzo's decision to back off from his lap time. Like, I understand he's on softs and maybe he tried to qualify on the mediums, but surely he would have seen it's gonna rain and it's gonna get worse, so I don't exactly understand, like, what was his thinking there. Nevertheless, here are your final qualifying results. 12x leading the way ahead of Knightsui. Bogorov P3 in a bid to get some points back on his championship contender and take the championship down to wire. Rishrati P4, Not Frankie P5, Policeman P6, Black Panther P7, N7 P8, Renzo P9, Ross Vincent P10, SAR69 P11, Klinsman P12, Tiger, I just retired early on in the session, I'm going to assume he had a quali ban, and Vigo Val, whatever your name is, didn't set a lap time either because of a quali ban I'm not aware of, or just, I don't know, feeling not like doing anything. However, as said previously, we will be restarting the lobby now, so I will catch you in a few moments time. Don't go anywhere, see you soon. And we have returned after a slight break. We have restarted the lobby and are gonna get away shortly. Got a bit of information as to what was going on in Renzo's head as he lifted on the straight in his one and only qualifying run that actually mattered. And apparently he was playing the P11 strat game. He tried to get P11 on the grid, knowing full well, I guess, that it's gonna rain and the conditions are not gonna get any better. Sucks to be him. He failed. He's starting P9, and he will be starting on the softs. I guess, luckily enough for the drivers, it is going to be a try race. That is, not one fewer spanner being thrown into the works for the drivers. As a wet race, they're always going to be challenging. They're always going to be a bit more nerve-wracking. But yeah, they don't have to deal with that here in the race anyway, and as it will be a nice and sunny race. You can see the sun is out, and it is way lighter out on track than it was. So what am I gonna say? Holy shit! Oh, my brain just had a thought. Anyway, trying to get into hype mode. Renzo versus Bogorov. The gap, 32 points. Renzo would have to outscore Bogorov by 18 points to lock the championship in here today. Renzo is starting from P9, Bogorov starting from P3. It's a tall ask for Renzo in the Mercedes. He will have to do quite a lot of overtakes and hope for some misfortune for Bogorov. But the drivers have selected their strategies, their setups, and away we go for the formation lap. Ahead of 27 laps of hopefully just good action and good racing. As said, the two Alpha Tauris of North Frankie and Black Panther are adding on top of that. N7 and Ross Vincent will be starting on medium tyres. SAR69 and Tiger, the two Aston Martins, actually opting to start on the hard tyres. Klinsmann and Vigo starting on mediums outside of the top 10 as well. 12X, Night Sweep, Bogorov, Rish, Policeman and Renzo, as said previously, set their best lap times in qualifying on a set of softs. They will be starting on the soft tyres. Obviously, good thing about the lobby restarts, they will be starting on a set of fresh soft tyres. They will not be worn from qualifying, but that's basically the only good thing that they really have going for them. As the soft tyre, from memory and from personal experience, it's not really the race tyre that you want to be on. Certainly it is the medium tyre that is the best race tyre, I would say. So it is interesting to see all three compounds, the soft, the medium and the hard, to be represented here on the starting grid. We will have 14 drivers taking to the start-finish line to start the 27-lap race. How many of them will make it to the finish? Who's going to win? We shall see in roughly 40 minutes time, I would say. Fortunately as well, all the drivers in the top 10 have selected the correct tyres. Obviously, if you happen to accidentally or intentionally, never know, select the wrong tyres that don't match with the ones they set your first lap time on in the qualifying, for the top 10 in a way, that would mean that you will get disqualified. But none of that here today. The drivers are lined up on the grid. It's time to get hyped. The championship could be decided here today. It might be a championship Sunday here in TF4, but it would need a bit of a miracle on Renzo's and on Renzo? I don't actually know how to say that name either. But what I do know is that all the drivers have lined up here on the grid. 27 laps are ahead of us. The lights are coming on. 4, 5 red lights ahead of the drivers and the route, and away they go. It's a decent start for 12X. I heard quite a lot of wheel spin as we go towards turn 1. 12X seems to have kept his lead. Bogorov up to P2 he goes, but Night Sweet is trying to hold it off. We have a spinner. Rich Raffi goes around in the exit of turn 2, but we do still have more action as it goes on. Bogorov did get the move done on Night Sweet, and up to B3 he goes. And Frankie, what a start, or should I say not Frankie, what a start he has had, or they have had, up to P4 on a set of mediums. Ross has dropped a few positions. Actually, no, he's not. I'm saying beautiful rubbish. Oh, there we go. N7 has DNF'd, and that's the first retirement in the race. Just dropped the car going onto the main straight. We have a virtual safety car, and it's a quick and it's time to have a quick breather already. 12X was able to keep the lead off the start. Bogorov, in his bid to try and claw back the gap in the championship behind Renzo, was able to get ahead and past Night3, who dropped to P3. Frankie, what a start they did, up to P4 on a set of mediums. Policeman P5 on softs. Black Panther in the second AlphaTauri up in P6 on mediums. SAR 69 from P11 up to P80s in the Aston Martin. It's going to be interesting what can he do in the Aston Martin on the set of hard tyres. The virtual safety car has pulled in, and we get going once more. And we actually have quite a few cars really close to one another. Policeman trying to get past Frankie, obviously. Soft tyre versus the medium tyre. In the first few laps of the race, the soft tyres will have the advantage, as Renzo is trying to line up a move as well on the Aston Martin of Black Panther. It is all single file as we get towards turn 1. No traumas as it stands right now. 12X will try to get away from the rest of the pack, but Bogorov, I'm sure, will not be giving it off too lightly. He will try to stick within 1 second to get that DRS that will be activated next lap. And we still have quite a the cars are bunched up quite close to one another, and it's not even the DRS train as it is usually, but it is battery and ERS mode, or ERS deployment train, as Renzo is trying to get past Black Panther here, using Golov his overtake mode, and he's actually side by side as they exit the middle sector chicane, side by side into the long right-hander, but it's a quick right-hand, and it's still side by side between Renzo and Black Panther. These are racing there, but Renzo will have to go the long way around of the AlphaTauri. They're still side by side. What racing we have in here? Renzo has got the move done for the time being, but Black Panther cuts it back, and it's still side by side. They've been side by side for the majority of this lap. What racing we have in here? It's only lap 2. Renzo still trying to stick it side by side on the better set of tyres, and finally into the final corner they're still side by side. Oh my god. As the fastest laps are still being posted, and Black Panther doing his absolute best to get and keep ahead of the championship leader in towards turn 1. Can he keep ahead for the time being? Yes, he can. Wow, what a battle that was. Policeman in front has already picked up a 3-second time penalty for abusing the track limits, but yeah, if this is what the race is going to look like for the remaining 25, I guess, laps, then so be it. I'm here for it. Renzo already putting up quite a show here for us. Bogorov is catching up to Night3, and Renzo, Black Panther, still at it with DRS. The Mercedes gets past rather easily. SAR 69 is dropping places on the hard tyre as well. I would assume he got a bit of a worse exit onto the DRS straight, and now drop the place to Ross Vincent and is about to drop a place to Vigo as well. The Alpine stays behind for the time being. But yeah, as it stands right now, we have a battle for the lead as well ensuing. 12X and Bogorov trying to contest that, and Night3 in the first Alpine trying to keep in the top 3 group as well. Vigo has had a bit of an incident there, as has Tiger in the Aston Martin. Perhaps the two Aston Martins on hard tyres struggling a tad to get temperatures into the tyre. Plus, obviously, it is the first few laps of this race. The softer tyres will have a bit of an advantage when it comes to performance. Renzo got past Black Panther on the DRS straight, and he's trying to catch up. Policeman in the Williams is in DRS zone already, must be said, so Renzo trying to get past the car between himself and his championship contender as soon as possible. Really unfortunate for N7 there to end his race in lap 1. I don't really want to do that, but here we go. Policeman actually really close to not Frankie, and using DRS, this should be an easy move for the Williams driver. Going towards the chicane, and Bob's uncle to Williams has gotten past with the time penalty no less, but Policeman to 3.8, he's up to P4, not Frankie dropped to P5. P5. Renzo P6 all the way from P9 already. He has used up most of his battery already, so he will probably struggle to even overtake. So maybe for Renzo the best call for him would be to try to stay in DRS of cars ahead and just recharge his battery. Obviously the only driver or mediums ahead of Renzo is not Frankie. Sorry, well, it is the driver, not Frankie, as everyone ahead of that as AlphaTauri is on the soft tires. Renzo is really close to the AlphaTauri actually, and will be probably trying to get a move done on the main straight with DRS. Obviously, in terms of battery, Renzo has no battery, as would a certain person in a anime cartoon say. Policeman actually had to defend a little bit. Oh dear, he spun in the exit of turn 2. That's not ideal, and that's basically his race for in the top 5 anyway over, especially with a time penalty. I'm not actually sure what happened there. Probably just dropped the car, and that means Renzo is all the way up to P4. I'm sure when Bogorov sees that on his heart, that Renzo is all the way up to P4. That's not what Williams driver would like to see, considering that he's fighting him for the championship. But Bogorov doesn't seem to care at all as he moves his Williams up to P1 of this race. It's not only Renzo from the championship contenders that's making moves. Bogorov has taken the lead as well off of 12X and tries to run away with that, as it is Renzo. I would have to say he's struggling a little bit, as even not Frankie is trying to stick it round the outside of the long right-hander, and we go to the long sweeping right-hander as well. Another one side by side between a Mercedes and the AlphaTauri, as Renzo tries to do his utmost best to stick and stay ahead of another AlphaTauri. This time it is not Frankie, and they're still side by side through sector 3. Who says you can't race here in France? As Renzo doing his absolute best to try and fight it side by side in sector 3, has to give up the position so far, as not Frankie with more overtake mode. He had more battery anyway, as Frankie did have to spend quite a lot of his battery to stay to get the move done on Renzo as well. Renzo down to P5. Bogorov up to P1. The championship fight as it stands right now will go on to the final 2 races. Speaking of the race lead, I don't think 12X has had his final say in the proceedings either. We can see Bogorov actually has slightly more overtake mode, slightly more battery left in the tank than 12X, but 12X obviously is using to try and overtake Bogorov. Bogorov did use some overtake mode of his own to try and stick ahead. Here we go again, Renzo and not Frankie in towards the middle sector chicane. Ross Vincent trying to get past the other AlphaTauri and got past rather easily there. Renzo overtook not Frankie, but this is not done yet. It is only lap 6 and we had so much battling going on here. SAR69 also trying to get some action. Down inside, he tried to go in the long, flat-out right-hander, and he's still trying to stick it down inside of Black Panther here. This is great racing, and I don't actually know how did SAR69 not hit the back of Ross Vincent. It is only lap 6, and oh my god, the overspeed between SAR69 and Ross Vincent towards that left-hander, it was quite a lot, and I was actually surprised that SAR69 did not hit the back of Ross Vincent. End of lap 6, and we have quite a close battle all the way from P4 to P8, as Renzo, without much overtake mode, or battery you should say, tries to defend from the guys behind them, and what makes the matters worse, Frankie, Ross, Saw, Black Panther and even Tiger behind, they are on harder compound tyres, so realistically, as Black Panther got overtaken by Saw once again, and he actually lost some momentum there, Renzo does not want to be battling with these guys right now. He wants to get away as much as possible, because Renzo, obviously, he will be pitting earlier. However, everyone behind him, from Frankie downwards, Tiger even, they will have an advantage come the final stages of this race. Not much was changed on the DRS straight here on lap 7. The position stayed as they were. Maybe they have learned that fighting is not the way as it stands right now. Maybe it's for the best to stick behind for the time being, recharge your battery, and then go again. Bogorov did manage to keep his lead ahead of 12x as well. It's only lap 7, so I don't expect these battles to be all that we're gonna see, not by any stretch of imagination. I do wonder when should we expect the soft runners to pit. Maybe around lap 9, maybe earlier, maybe later, maybe someone will try to go on a bit of an undercut. I would say maybe they're all gonna go on a set. Well, I don't actually know what set, but I would assume they would all try to go for the one stop, as the pit lane here in France is rather long and rather slow, so you will lose quite a chunk of time doing a two-stopper, so you will try to get a one-stop done as best as you possibly can. Here we go, lap 8. Can 12x do anything against Bogorov? Not really, doesn't look like it anyway. And yeah, Night3 is just chilling in P3, not really threatening the people ahead of him, not really threatening the people behind him either. But this is the battle that we should focus on, a 5-way battle all the way for P4. And now Frankie's trying to go and get the move done on Renzo down the inside, even before the chicane. Nicely does it, and so actually went a little bit deep into the middle sector chicane. I don't know if he just tried to get a move done on Ross, or if he just outbreak himself. We shall see. Maybe he likes to share his views on that later on in the chat as well. Lap 8 of 27. We actually have a battle still going on, as Ross is trying to get a move done on Renzo as well, and this is the opposite of what Renzo wants. He's dropping places instead of making up places, because these softs, he will come off them relatively soon, and the people he's fighting right now will have the advantage come the final stages of this race, as Black Panther, as Frankie gained a position and Renzo into the pits. I was expecting this to happen, if I'm completely honest. Rich Raffi follows the Mercedes through as well. Both of them obviously were on soft tires. Renzo pits onto a set of hards, and I assume the Ferrari is going to follow suit as well. We now have a 4-way fight for the P4 position as well. Policeman 238, who obviously had a bit of a spin early on in this race, is into the pits as well. We only have 3 runners out on track left on the soft tires. Fortunately for Renzo, he has 15 seconds of clean air, so he will have quite a lot of space to make this undercut work. Now, once he gets these tires up to temperature, he will be quicker than everyone here, especially because they are battling, and Black Panther actually got past Frankie as well, so maybe Frankie is struggling a little bit. The battery is identical in terms of how much charge they have left, but now it's again a 5-way fight, because guess what? Tiger in the sister Aston Martin has joined the fight as well. So it is Ross Vincent, Saar, Black Panther, Frankie, Tiger, the 5 drivers in the fight. Someone has spun off the track, and unfortunately it is Aston Martin of Saar69. Has to watch out for the rejoin, and fortunately he did ghost. A bit of a questionable rejoin here. Now this is crucial. Bogorov into the pits, and he picked off a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. That is unfortunate for the Williams driver, and obviously he will not be serving that 5-second time penalty. He will have to just take it come the end of the race. Crucially for Bogorov, he will rejoin the pits in clean air, and 12x did not pit, so he can make a undercut work to extend the gap that he had to 12x, and hopefully he can make some time up for himself for his own sake as well. Saar69 picks up a 3-second time penalty, and it's rather easy to pick up time penalties in here because of turn 1 and turn 2. That's like the only worrisome section of this track, in my opinion anyway, but it is really easy to cut the first 2 corners on this track, and maybe the second chicane as well in the end of sector 1 as well. It is easy to pick up track limit penalties or warnings here, and obviously 3 track limit warnings will end up giving you a penalty as well. What was a 5-way fight for P4 is now a 3-way fight for the on track B3 position, and Tiger actually tried to make a move stick on Black Panther. Had a bit of an interesting line there in the long sweeping right-hander. Made nothing work. And here is our race leader, 12X, into the pits. Which means that Ross Vincent in the other horse actually picks up the race lead on the track. Bit of contact there between Frankie and Tiger as they are side by side, and Black Panther might actually do some teamwork here. The two AlphaTauris trying to box in the Aston Martin, trying to overtake, and that's brilliant teamwork here as they manage to keep ahead of the Aston Martin as well. 12X has rejoined behind Buggerov and by some distance, 2.4 seconds. That undercut, really quite something. However, if you notice that 12X is on a set of mediums compared to a set of hards that Buggerov is on, so this might also become a little bit crucial come the end of this race. I think this is roughly at the stage of the race where going on to mediums might actually be viable, as you will make it to the end. I can see there's really decent team play going on between the two AlphaTauris to keep the Aston Martin of Tiger behind them. Obviously Tiger is on hard tyres, and I would assume the hard tyres will be a little bit better at this stage of the race. The two AlphaTauris trying to put up a wall, a Great Wall of China, or a Great Wall of AlphaTauri, one could say, as Tiger just cannot find a way past the two AlphaTauris, who obviously are playing some team games here to keep the Aston Martin behind. Meanwhile, behind, Viggo and Klinsmann have been battling for the last few laps, as Tiger actually goes for a rather early pit stop, considering he started on hards. Now, this is interesting. What tires is he going to go on? Oh, he's changing his front wing, so he must have picked up some damage somewhere. Maybe when battling the two AlphaTauris, so that is really unfortunate for Tiger, but fortunately for him, he can get to the end on the mediums from here on, but obviously the front wing change is never a good thing. Update on Renzo, he's P10 on track as it stands right now, but obviously we have a couple of drivers left the pit as well. Policeman had a bit of an incident in the final sector as well, nothing really much doing there. And the action has calmed down a little bit. Klinsmann is kind of falling back from Viggo in their fight for P4 on the track. Obviously it's not P4 on merit because they haven't boxed as it stands right now, and the two AlphaTauris are playing some team games as well. In terms of actual battles going on between drivers, well, there is some ensuing now, because Nightsway, interestingly enough, has caught up 12X, and 12X is making some inroads on Buggerov ahead, but it's not really doing much, considering that it is medium tires against hard tires. I would have expected a little bit more from 12X to close up the gap just a little bit more, but that being said, not really doing much. And SAR69 has actually been caught up by Buggerov. Buggerov obviously did pit already, and he is in the provisional race lead. Well, technically, however, he does have the 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. We don't know, maybe he's gonna try to get that removed. Remember what I said about 12X not gaining that much? Well, he got more than 6/10 in the final sector. Perhaps that's because Buggerov started to get stuck, caught behind SAR69, or it's the medium tires coming in handy for the horse of 12X. Nevertheless, we will have some more action as Buggerov is getting rather stuck and held up behind SAR69 here, and 12X not in the DRS window right now. And fortunately for Buggerov, I would expect him to get the move done on the Aston Martin rather easily, even before the chicane manages to get back on the racing line. And Buggerov out to P6 ahead of the Aston Martin. Crucial move by him here. He will obviously try to build up the gap even more now. So hopefully for Buggerov, SAR69 will drop off the back of Buggerov and will start hampering, as one could say, ones behind him as well. Up in near the front of the grid as it stands right now, nothing much is happening. AlphaTauris are still playing the team game. I don't think wait, I think they have swap positions, but they might be playing the DRS game, you know, like they might just be towing off one another to, you know, just make sure they go as fast and as efficient as they possibly can, utilizing ERS to overtake each other on every DRS straight. Vigo made the cameras bug off just slightly there, because it seemed as if he went off the track there, and the next thing I know, he was on the racing line, as one would expect. Tiger sets the fastest lap of the race with a 31.8. He is in P11 and chasing down Renzo, actually, as it stands right now. Unfortunately for Tiger, he's 8.5 seconds behind Renzo here, but it might be a strong result for Tiger still here. Considering he's on the relatively new set of medium tires, and there's a bunch of drivers out in front who are yet to pit. What is Klinsmann up to? Oh, he's up to nothing, because I'm gonna explain myself. So basically, on the UI, I saw that apparently Klinsmann was on 4-lap-old hards, and I was thinking to myself, like, how on earth did he pull that off? And then my eyes just adjusted a little bit, and I understood that, oh wait, yeah, it's actually Buggerov who's on 4-lap-old hards. Speaking of Buggerov, unfortunately for him, Star69 has caught, or has stuck behind him rather well, and that's allowed 12X to get really close between Buggerov once again, and this is actually the DRS train led by Buggerov. Don't forget, Buggerov is the provisional race leader. However, he does have a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. As I said previously, we don't know, maybe he will try to get it removed come the end of the race, but if he doesn't, then he will drop behind 5 seconds, most likely giving up the race lead. I am sorry if I jumpscared anyone by suddenly talking a bit more loudly. I just had to adjust my headset a bit more as it was getting a tad uncomfortable for me. Frankie has got past Ross Vincent, and that's exactly what I've been thinking the last few laps, like that's the AlphaTauris. Tying off one another and trying to utilize the DRS as efficiently as they possibly can. And they have not only caught up to the Haas in front, they've actually overtaken them. And I'm sure that AlphaTauri will probably try to play some team games to get Black Panther past Ross, as well, as Ross went really deep. My god, my voice cracks are really getting out of hand today. Yeah, the Haas went really deep in turn 15, maybe? I'm not sure, actually. I don't exactly know the corners here, but he did go a little bit deep, and maybe gave Black Panther a little bit to think about. We go into the pits. Rich Rashi picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and Black Panther had a bit of a scruffy exit in the final corner. He dropped off Ross Vincent quite significantly, but Ross Vincent went really wide, exit of turn 2 by himself as well, so no time was lost or gained. 12X has picked up a 3-second time penalty. If the race ends as it stands right now with these exact gaps, it's not Buggerov winning this race, it isn't 12X to win this race, but it would be Nightswee winning this race. Both the leaders have time penalties as it stands right now. 12X with track limits and Buggerov with speeding in the pit lane. So interestingly enough, let's have a look at the penalty situation as it stands right now. Klinsmann with 3 seconds track limits. Obviously Buggerov had the 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. 12X just picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits. Rich Raffi picked up a 3-second penalty a few laps ago, or a lap ago, something like that. Can't exactly remember. Vico has 9 seconds of penalties already. Calm down, son. Star69 has 6 seconds of penalties, and Policeman 238 has 9 seconds of penalties. As I said previously, these rather easy to pick up penalties here, so not surprised one bit. What are the AlphaTauris going to do? Both are staying out for the time being, and it is a bit of a AlphaTauri sandwich for Ross with a filling of that tasty Haas car. Yeah, the origins behind the Haas livery in 2021 weren't the best, but I actually really like the Haas livery. If we just ignore that there's a Russian flag on that car, like if it would just be the color combination, I would actually like that. But getting a bit off topic here, Klinsmann has been caught up by Bogorov, 12X, and Knightsway as the top three on merit, I should say. Then have made quite decent inroads on those who have not pitted as it stands. Ross Vincent is really close to losing DRS on Not Frankie, and Bogorov has got the move done on Klinsmann, and even before the second check the chicane, he gets the move done, and yeah, now he can focus on maybe trying and pull in that 3 second gap, no, 2 second gap. I can't do maths anymore. It is rather late in where I live, turning 11 PM in a few minutes time. But yeah, Bogorov will obviously try to run away as much as he possibly can. He's making a bit of a gap already, and we can see 12X. He's struggling to get past, but Klinsmann is not dropping off the back of Bogorov that much either. Klinsmann is into the pits, as are Frankie and Ross Vincent, which leaves Black Panther in the lead of this race. It will be Bogorov to take that P2 spot, but now the race to the checker flag is on. Bogorov, 12X, and Knightsway, the three net race leaders. However, as I said previously, if the times between the drivers go on to enter the race as it stands right now, it won't be Bogorov nor 12X to finish the race in the first place. It would be Knightsway to win on penalties. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3. Policeman has had a bit of an incident once more. It honestly feels like I am repeating myself for the last few laps. And Policeman not exactly enjoying the Paul Ricard circuit here. Bogorov, obviously he's on the set of hard tyres. 12X and Knightsway are on the set of mediums, and I would say right now as well the hards will be the better set of tyres, but obviously maybe the mediums will drop off come the final few laps of the race, and that is exactly what Bogorov is counting on. Meanwhile, Renzo, he's 6.2 seconds behind Knightsway, 3 seconds ahead of Tiger. However, Tiger is catching him up. Vigo picks up another track limit penalty, and Black Panther is into the pit. So that's all of the scheduled pit stops out of the way, and the order resumes as it should be. Bogorov takes the lead, 12X is in P2 and Knightsway P3. Renzo will take over the P4 position, Tiger P5, Rich P6, and so on and so forth. Do keep an eye on the two Alpha Tauris, Ross Vincent, and hell, even Klinsmann, even though he's quite a long way off, on the set of soft tires. They might catch the back of the, even though race leading train up, maybe in the final few laps. You can see we have a yellow flag. Swigo has had a bit of an incident here, unfortunately for him. Black Panther picks up a 3-second penalty, which is also certainly not ideal for his attempts and his plans to maybe catch up the race leaders. Meanwhile, Frankie down inside into the second sector chicane and gets a move done even before he breaks for the chicane really easily. Really nicely done by the Alpha Tauri, and upwards he goes. Up next is VBR Tiger, only 2 seconds up on the road. You can see they're even in the same camera shot, and this would actually be slightly problematic for Renzo, as one would assume obviously Frankie will catch and pass Tiger, should catch Renzo as well, and maybe Frankie will grab Tiger with him to overtake Renzo as well. Renzo on those rather old hard tires, he does have the oldest set of hard tires in the field right now. He will be in trouble come the final few laps of the race. This is still not done for Renzo, and tell you what also isn't done is the battle for the race lead. Ignore the track limit penalties and the penalties for the time being. Let's just witness this. We have a three-way fight for the race lead with 8 laps remaining, counting this one as well. And we have a Williams, a Haas, and an Alpine really close to one another. We have 3 different teams, 3 different drivers trying to battle it out for the race lead. And interestingly enough, we have like what, 7 different teams in the top 7. The first duplicate team in the top 8 is Haas. Obviously, I do understand it is equal cost, so shouldn't be that surprising. But even in league racing, like, at least from my personal experience, the quicker drivers do try to form teams to, you know, fight for the constructor championship as well. So at least for me personally, it is rather unusual to see so many different teams you know, up near the front of the grid. Ross Vincent makes it 2 horses in the top 7 as he, on the fresh set of softs, gets past Rich Raffi as well, and on his attempts to get past and rather to catch a Tiger and Renzo, and even maybe the cars in front of them as well. Frankie is really close to Tiger, and he might get DRS. I am unsure if he got it or not. I guess we shall see on the main straight. Unfortunately for the AlphaTauri, Frankie did not get DRS for the time being, but Frankie should not only get DRS on the back straight, I shall say, but I do think he will get past as well. Oh no! Frankie picks up a 3-second penalty. That is not ideal. In his attempts to try and fight for a race win as well. As maybe on penalties, it would have been doable for him. We have yellow flags, and oh no, it's 12X who has dropped the car. And he's out of the race win contention, and now Renzo is really close to 12X as well. But obviously, I do think Renzo should not have a chance here versus 12X, and 12X should get going once more. However, this is like Christmas coming home early for Tiger and Frankie, as they have caught up not only Renzo, but with that mistake, also 12X. And now, B3 for the soft tire runners is more than possible. We will have 7 laps to go. Counting this one as well, I do believe. Again, my maths is not the best, especially at 11 PM in the evening. But we still have got a few laps to go in this race, and especially with the mistake from 12X. I'm not sure what happened. Did he get spun around or what exactly happened there? But the fact of the matter being, he did go for a spin, and he did lose quite a bit of time. Unknowingly for Renzo, he did not get DRS at the back of 12X there, and he's still left defending from the cars from better tires behind him. And you can see the grip difference between Tiger, Frankie and Renzo, especially like Tiger, Frankie compared to Renzo. The grip difference is absolutely mental. I would say if any one of the soft runners has a chance to win this race or get on the podium, certainly it would be Frankie, as he's literally right up there. This is actually interesting. Does Frankie have enough overtake mode to get this move done on Tiger? They're both using, obviously, DRS activated as well. Frankie is trying to get the move done on this straight, but also Tiger is going for a move on Renzo, and Frankie thought about following Tiger there as well, but decided otherwise, and Tiger up to B4, Renzo B5, and Frankie had decided to stick behind and deal with P6 for the time being. And we go with another 3-second penalty. That's like what, his 5th, 6th? I've lost count if I'm completely honest. But yeah, Frankie, unknowingly for him, did not get past Renzo there. But obviously it is better to just stick behind for like another lap or even less than that, as he did make a bit of an interesting line there, did Frankie, to try and follow Renzo in the first sector of France. But yeah, you can just see how close they are, and even 12X, he's not out of the woods just yet, especially considering his penalties. Renzo with time penalties might still pick up a few positions come the final few laps. 5 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen, and even the race lead might still be decided in the latter few laps. Obviously, keep in mind, Bargarov has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. So as it stands right now, Night3 has the race lead for himself rather comfortably indeed. Let's have a look. Can Frankie do anything to get past Renzo this time by. Renzo is using overtake mode, Frankie was not, interestingly enough. And I would say Tiger is actually closer to get the move done on 12x, and there you go, down inside goes the Aston Martin, up to B3, goes Tiger, and that actually came quite out of nowhere. I did not, well, I saw that coming, but it still caught me by surprise, Tiger going for that move. And now 12x dropping like a stone as well after his spin. I mixed up my hotkeys for changing the PoEs. Vico with another track limit penalty. How many do you have? Vico has 24. That's like what? 8 time penalties already? You have to calm down. You know, the track is on the black stuff. You know, between the white lines. Don't go over the white lines. Easy as that. Right. Frankie got really close to Renzo there. In the final corner, we have 4 laps remaining. They will go to the 4th last lap as they cross the line now. Renzo is already flickering. The ERS is out for him, and Frankie's getting stuck. He's not really making much inroads on the cars in front. I'd say Tiger has a better chance to, well, keep B3. I don't think he's gonna overtake Night3, and he will do well to get that, like what, 7/10s to get Bogorov as well. As it stands right now, Bogorov will get B2, and 12x actually got it really badly out of shape going onto the long DRS straight. Renzo goes for the move on the Haas driver. Is Frankie gonna decide to go for the move as well? No, decides better off its sticks behind for the time being, but the time is running out. For Frankie, it will be 3 laps remaining come the end of this lap, and Renzo keeping himself in the podium discussion as well, especially considering the track limit penalties as well. Renzo will have to stay within 3 seconds of Tiger if he wants to have a chance. Is Frankie gonna go for the move? Down inside. That was random, but Frankie pulled the move off, I shall say. I'm starting to mix up my words as well. It's that late in the evening for me. But Frankie up to P5. And now would have to get past Renzo and Tiger for that matter, which obviously, don't get me wrong, with 3 laps it is completely doable, especially now. Renzo is not going to get DRS from Tiger in front, so this should be a rather easy move for the AlphaTauri, if not on the main straight, then on the back straight. We can see the back run as well. Ross Vincent got badly out of shape in the final corner exit, but Rich Raffi not really doing much. Frankie not going for the move into turn 1, probably trying to get the move on the back straight then. Instead, we have 3 laps remaining, counting this one as well. And as I said, the time is running out badly for not Frankie. If he wants to get that B3, he has to get past Renzo, get to Tiger, get past Tiger, and then also get a 3-second gap to Renzo as well to avoid the Mercedes sneaking back in front of the AlphaTauri driver on penalties. Frankie gets the move done on Renzo. Up to B4 he goes, and now Frankie on a mission to try and get that B3 from Tiger. Now, interestingly enough, Bogorov has dropped time to Tiger as well, so as it stands right now, Tiger will drop behind Tiger. Bogorov will drop behind Tiger as well, but look at that, it's literally borderline 5 seconds between Bogorov and Tiger, so it's really close for Bogorov and Tiger in that fight as well. Not a fight on track, but it is a fight on penalties anyway. Policeman 238 is in the pits on new set of softs, probably trying to go for the fastest lap. Obviously, you will not be getting a point for the fastest lap in here, so maybe just trying to show off what speed he has got left in the tank. Now Frankie is actually dropped off rather massively at the back of Tiger. We do have 2 laps remaining here in the French Grand Prix, and as it stands right now, Night3 will be taking the lead on penalties, will be taking the win on penalties, I should say, ahead of, it should be Tiger, and then Bogorov in P3. Renzo should be holding on to B3, perhaps, maybe B4, so considering all the circumstances, it will be a good damage limitation for Renzo, seeing how much he bottled the qualifying. As I said in the Discord chat, he tried to go for the P11 strat and he failed miserably, lifted on the main straight, and had to start on P9 on soft tires. Frankie under pressure ahead of Renzo, as Frankie, I think the soft tires have started to go off just a little bit, and the medium and the hard tires are coming to their own against the soft tires anyway. But as it stands right now, Renzo can only afford to drop 6 more tenths to still get back on top of the P3 slot on the podium. Nightsui has taken the lead. I didn't even realize that as we are going towards the final lap. I think Nightsui pulled the move off on the back straight then with DRS. Very interesting that, but obviously Nightsui was going to take that lead anyway. Final lap of this race, and oh, Tiger has picked up a 3-second penalty. I did not even realize that. Wow. So as it stands right now, Tiger will not jump Buggerov, and Buggerov will keep that P2 that he has on the track as well. But we might still see a move for the race lead, even though if I was Buggerov, I would call my losers here. You will not be getting that P1 anyway, but you try to stay ahead of Tiger on penalties. You can afford to lose 1 more second. Nightsui is flashing. His ERS levels are low, but Bogorov wasn't even thinking to go for the move. And why should he? He's not gonna get Claire on the penalties either. Renzo tried to go for the move on Frankie, and they go side by side in the middle sector chicane. And they spin, and there's been a collision, and Frankie is around. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Frankie. I don't even know who's to blame in there. And Frankie dropped all the way down to P8 with that collision there. And that did also cost time for Renzo. He will not be getting that P3 after that contact there. I'm not sure what happened there. It seems like Renzo tried to go for the move there, and Frankie maybe defended a bit too harshly there, as policeman gets the fastest lap of the race, obviously. But yeah, I think they just hit the tires, and they couldn't get off each other, and that was really unfortunate. That does not matter for Nightsui though, as he goes over the line to win the French Grand Prix for Alpine here in Tier 4 of WOR. Bogorov, P2, to get some crown back in the championship fight. Tiger B3, Renzo, decent damage limitation for B4, and Frankie actually did get past Vincent either on penalties or on the track. I didn't actually quite catch that. But 3 tenths was the gap between those two. Yeah, as said, decent damage limitation for Renzo here, but Bogorov did get some ground back in the championship. I think that is 6 points that Bogorov got, so the gap now in the championship is 26 points, and that gives Bogorov another lifeline in the Drive Championship, because obviously the gap you need going towards the final race to secure the title with 1 race to go is 25 points. I believe on countback Renzo would win it, so Bogorov needs to outscore Renzo by 2 points in the next race in Britain to take the championship fight down the wire. Can he do it? Unsure, and now we're just waiting for Policeman 238 to finish the race. Bob Jungle, he's done it. And that's been the French Grand Prix for you. Rather interesting one. Drive of the day, Tiger. I don't actually... Oh yeah, Tiger started on hards, didn't he? And he made a rather early pit stop from memory. That felt rather weird for me, but I guess he made it stick. But yeah, here's your podium finishes. Obviously, Sui on top of the podium, finished ahead of Bogorov and Tiger. A French driver on the podium here in France as well. His home Grand Prix here, so really well done by him as well. As said, it was an interesting race, and obviously the storylines between the 2 championship contenders as well. It was interesting to see what can Renzo do from P9, and can Bogorov claw back some ground in the championship. But here are your final, provisional I suppose, race results. Nightsui P1 ahead of Bogorov and Tiger. Those were your podium finishes. Renzo P4 for damage limitation in his championship fight against Bogorov. Tolvax P5 from pole position, unfortunately dropped down the field after that spin. Rich Raffi P6 ahead of Frankie P7. Ross Vincent P8. Black Panther P9 apparently ran out of fuel. Saw P10. in the other Alpha Tower, sorry, Aston Martin. Klinsmann P11, we got P12. Policeman 238 was the final finisher in this race. He grabbed the fastest lap of the race, and yeah, that has been it for this race. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I did. You will hear more from me on Tuesday in WR Tier 6 France, and yeah, until that, it is it from me, and have a wonderful evening or day or morning or wherever you are in the world. Take care, and goodbye.